This video is going to cover some lab tips to help you get the most out of your electrooculography lab. So they will illustrate for you where you place your electrodes. You get to have 6 electrodes stuck to your face. And one thing to be aware of is these 2 electrodes on the temples are detecting horizontal eye movement. So these 2 electrodes on her face are working together to detect her horizontal eye movement. So here's a little highlight there. And then these 2 electrodes here are working together, you can guess what's going on here, to detect vertical movement. So what's important about that is when you're hooking up your leads and you're trying to detect horizontal movement, you've got a red lead here and a white lead there. What I've seen in previous labs is students just randomly make sure that one red is here and one white is here, but they're also doing the vertical, so they'll put another red where it's supposed to go somewhere there. What you have to be absolutely certain of is that these 2 are picking up on the same, they're connected to the same lead set, and they're drawing your horizontal movement. They're giving you a clear sense of horizontal eye movement. Okay, they should be from the same transducer, and they should be level with your pupil so that you can measure the very pupil kind of refers to the very middle part of your eye. Now, if you're doing vertical eye movement, similarly, they should be lined up over the pupil, and they're going to be working together to measure that vertical movement of the eye. Again, the red and the white leads are working together to determine where the eye is in the degree of eye movement. And they're going to be from that same lead set. And again, centered on the pupil. Okay, a few more lab tips here. There's a certain segment where it says to do a pendulum, and you're going to have a pendulum swinging, and your eyes are going to need to track and follow the pendulum. Pendulum has things hanging down. You want to, what needs to be level with your pupil is the tip, the very end of the pendulum as you're swinging. So you want the tip of the pendulum, and I've past labs people have used their earbuds, and that's absolutely fine. If you do use your earbuds, just use one bud and not both of them, because otherwise your eyes are going to be tracking around trying to figure out which of the buds am I looking for. So kind of bundle up the rest of the buds. But what you want to have is the movement of the pendulum needs to be as closely centered with the level of your eyes as possible, such that the fulcrum of the pendulum is going to be up above somewhere. So that you're always wanting to pay close attention to that detail. Okay, the middle point there should be in the kind of the middle of your eyes as it swings through. If you have it off to the side, you're not going to be getting the best eye movement you can, because you're going to be looking to the side the whole time and trying to track. Okay, also in the lab, so you're going to be doing a pendulum, a real pendulum, and then an imagined pendulum. There's also a read silently and read aloud passage. A lot of people make the mistake of just grabbing a random passage of words and reading it off. But you need to find a very specific passage. It's in the analysis procedure file, analysisprocedure.pdf for the electrooculography, and it's on page 10. And they have a simple passage that you're supposed to read for that part of the lab, and then a complex passage or a complicated passage. You should read those at the designated times indicated in the lab report. As you're reading the passage, it's probably going to be on the screen, but you might want to print that page out. You're going to want to have it be, again, maybe about a foot from your face, and it should be centered over your eyes such that you're capturing as much eye movement reading these passages as possible. I've had previous students have the passage so far away that there's really very little eye movement going on to get from the left to the right side of the page. You want to maximize the amount of movement your eyes are doing so you can see the most amount of variability on the screen and have more to work with as you're doing your measurements.